Hello grade 11s. Today I'm looking at page 67, the drawing on the right hand side of the hexagonal pyramid and the cutting plane of AA. So they've asked in this drawing that you need to draw the given front view, show all the necessary construction, which would be the auxiliary view, then draw the sectional top view and a sectional right view. Remember, this is first angle orthographic projection. This is the symbol where the tapered roller is always the front view, the circles are always the left view, and because it's in this position where the left view is on the right, it means it's opposite, which means that it is the first angle orthographic projection. The relevance of that is that the positioning of the views needs to be as follows. The front view is always the most important view. The top view is at the bottom of the front view in relation to the front view. Then they've asked you to draw the right view, which means that it must be opposite, and opposite the most important view, the front view. So this needs to be the positioning of our views. So I'm going to get started now, and that will be with the construction of the hexagon as part of the auxiliary view. There is the construction of my hexagon, and the length of the side was 17, which means we could draw a circle with a radius of 17 on a 30-degree line. I'm now going to project my lines down at 60 degrees. Why? Because it's a right angle to the base of my auxiliary view. I'm going to leave a space of 15 millimeters between the views and then mark off the heights that I need. I've projected my length dimensions across here, and I've marked off the different height dimensions, and now just to join up the shape and put in the cutting plane. There I have the outline of my shape with the cutting plane AA drawn in. Remember that it is dark on the edges of my cutting plane, and then a center line, long dash, short dash going through the shape. Now I'm going to project my right view. So I'm going to take my height dimensions, project them across to the left hand side, and then I'm going to calculate the width dimensions that I need from my auxiliary view. The next important step now is to get the width dimensions. So the point of my pyramid is my highest point here on the leftist side of my front view. So I'm going to then from that side mark off my width dimension of 15, and this is going to give me the start point for my left view. Now I need to calculate my width dimension that I need to use for my pyramid in the right view. So what I need to do is I need to project the lines that are parallel to the base of the shape, and then if I've drawn a line that is perpendicular to that, this gives me my width dimension that I need. Okay, this is a very important aspect of this drawing, is getting this width dimension. Now what I'm going to do as well is just add in labels for each of the corners. So if I take my highest point, there is 1, and label clockwise around my shape, and T as the top. So this is my point for 1 and 6. This is going to be 2, the top, and 5, and this is going to be 4 and 3. I'm now going to transfer these measurements across to my right view. I've followed the numbering system in my front view. So here is point 2, following the projection line down, that would give me point 2 and the corresponding points for the rest of my shape. So if I start with this point here, I need to find where point 2 and 5 is. Sorry, just point 2. So this height would be my height 2, this height is 1 and 3, this height is 4 and 6, and this height is 5. Here, there is my height at the top of the shape. So if I look at the closest edge of my shape, it is point 4 and 3, which means that point 4 and point 3 are exactly on the edge of my line. The next point, also here is the distance I'm taking to point 2, 5 in the top. So if I go to point 2 and mark off that distance, I go to point 5 and mark off that distance, and I go to the top to mark off that distance, that gives me those 3 points. The last side I need to is point 1 and 6. So I'm going to take this width dimension here. I need it at point 1, so I follow the height level at point 1 and at point 6. There we can roughly see the outline starting to come out. There's the base of my hexagon going up to the top. So let's just join those lines up now in a outline. No, I'm not going to do it in outline, just in construction, because we still need to cut off the part on our cutting plane. So just join those points up just to give me an idea of what the shape will look like in a construction line. There is the outline of the shape. Now we're going to start working on the cutting plane. So I like to be logical with my approach to projecting my lines across. So I might start here at point 2 and then work across the shape to get my different points. So first of all, I'm going to find where point 2 is. So here is point 2 with its line going up to the top. Where does that point get cut? It gets cut at this intersection here. So I need to project that across to give me that first point. The next points that get cut are points 1 and 3. So where are those? They are these 2 points going up to the top. So where that gets cut by the cutting plane, I need to project lines across just to get those 2 points. The next corners are 4 and 6. So here's points 4 and 6 going to the top, these inside lines. So where the cutting plane hits them, I'm going to project those across there. And there are those 2 points. And my final point is point 5. Let's project that across. Let's join up those corners now of my cutting plane. There I've got the edges joined up of the remainder of the shape. I'm going to put in my hatching and label the views. There is your completed right view on AA. Let's project the top view now. So from the front view we're going to project the length dimensions down, we can take a 45 degree and project the width dimensions around, or take the width dimensions from our construction over there. So I've projected my lines down, I've marked off the numbers, and I've followed the points. So there was T lining up with T, so that's the theory of 2 points. Here is 5 lining up with 5. 4 lines up with 4 on that side, and 6 on this side. 1 lines up with 1 on this side, and 3 on this side, and 2 back in the middle. We just join those up to the top, giving us each of our points. So this would give us just the outline of our shape. Now let's work out where the cutting plane goes. So once again, my logical approach, I'm going to start on this edge and move across. So point 2, which we know is this one here. This is point 3 and 4. Sorry, that's 3 and 1. That's 4 and 6 and 5. So on line 2 it gets cut at this point, so I project the line down from my front view, and that gives me where point 2 is. Next is point 1 and 3, so where the cutting plane cuts point 1 and 3, I'm going to project those down to cut the lines 1 and 3. Let's find point 4 and 6. Here is 4, here is 6, and the line that goes to the top where the cutting plane cuts that gives me these 2 points, and then the last point along the center line is where point 5 gets cut, and there is point 5. I'm now ready to join up all these corners of my cutting plane. There is my cutting plane, and I'll need to put the hatching inside of that. I'm going to also join up the outside edges and the lines going to those points. Remember, because this little part has been cut off, this is my last edge and I don't see anything past that. There we have the completed sectional top view on AA, hatching, labels.